Every day we wake up, but not everyone truly lives. The Stoics believed that the way to live is not to add more noise, distractions, or empty pleasures, but to cut through the chaos and uncover what matters most. They weren't philosophers who lived in books. They were warriors of the mind, emperors of empires, and slaves who endured suffering with dignity. They lived by daily practices that gave them strength, clarity, and peace in a world just as turbulent as ours. Today we are going to walk through 7 daily practices of a Stoic life. Principles that can turn your ordinary day into a fortress of discipline, calm, and power. Each practice comes from the words of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and other great Stoics. And if you apply them, even in small ways, they will reshape the way you move through the world. The first practice is morning reflection. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, began his mornings reminding himself of what kind of people he would meet. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." At first, it sounds harsh, even cynical. But Marcus wasn't trying to become bitter. He was preparing himself. He understood that life brings challenges, and people often act from ignorance or weakness. By expecting difficulty, he was never shocked by it. For us, the practice is simple. Before you grab your phone, before you rush into the day, pause for just 2 minutes. Tell yourself what kind of challenges will likely appear. Maybe a coworker will be rude. Maybe traffic will be heavy. Maybe someone will criticize you. If you've already accepted these possibilities, they cannot shake you. The Stoic prepares his mind before the world has a chance to invade it. The second practice is voluntary discomfort. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" The Stoics understood that luxury makes us soft. Comfort breeds fear of losing it. By deliberately experiencing a little discomfort, you harden yourself against fortune's blows. You might skip a meal and realize hunger won't kill you. You might sleep on the floor for a night and see that you can endure it. You might take a cold shower and find your body stronger than you thought. In daily life, these small practices destroy fear and dependency. Because once you know you can live with less, no one can control you with threats of loss. You have tasted poverty in a safe way, and it no longer terrifies you. This practice plants resilience deep into your soul. The third practice is controlling your judgments. Epictetus taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." Think about that. It is not the event itself that hurts us. It is our opinion about the event. Someone cuts you off in traffic. That is an event. You can label it as an insult and fume with rage, or you can label it as insignificant and remain calm. A Stoic knows that suffering often comes from mislabeling reality. Each day, train yourself to pause before reacting. When something upsets you, ask, "What judgment am I adding here? Can I see it differently?" Maybe the insult is just words in the air. Maybe the delay is a chance to practice patience. When you master your judgments, you master your emotional state. And once you master your emotions, no one has power over you. The fourth practice is the evening review. Seneca wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, aware of this habit of mine, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, then passing nothing by. The Stoic day ends with honest reflection. What did I do well? Where did I fail? Where did I waste time? Where did I lose control? This is not about guilt. It is about improvement. Each night, take a few minutes to write or simply reflect before sleep. The day is a battlefield. You lost some fights, you won others. Now, prepare for tomorrow by studying today. Over time, this practice sharpens your awareness. You stop repeating the same mistakes, and you grow in wisdom, little by little. A life examined daily is a life that evolves. The fifth practice is practicing Memento Mori, remembering death. Epictetus advised, keep death and exile before your eyes each day, along with everything that seems terrible. By doing so, you'll never have a base thought, nor will you have excessive desire. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. To modern ears, this sounds dark, but the Stoics saw it as the opposite. Remembering death is not morbid, it is liberating. It strips away the trivial, the argument you're holding on to. Would it matter if this were your last week alive? The possessions you're chasing, would they matter on your deathbed? This practice turns urgency into focus. You don't waste time on what doesn't matter because you realize time itself is slipping away. Memento Mori is not about fearing death. It's about fueling life. The sixth practice is service and justice. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. The Stoics believed we are citizens of the world, tied together by reason and nature. To live only for yourself is to live in contradiction to the universe. Daily Stoicism means asking, how can I contribute? How can I help? How can I make today lighter for someone else? It can be as small as listening patiently, or as great as sacrificing for justice. But the practice must be lived every day. Because the Stoic understands that real strength is not cold detachment. It is responsibility to others. You are part of the whole, and your highest nature is fulfilled when you act for the common good. The seventh and final practice is aligning with nature. Epictetus said, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. The Stoics taught that nature is not just the trees and rivers, it is the unfolding of reality itself. Everything that happens is part of a larger order. When you resist it, you suffer. When you accept it, you find peace. Each day, life will throw surprises at you. A canceled plan, a broken machine, an illness, a rejection. The practice is to stop saying, why me? And start saying, why not me? This is life. This is the nature of things. Acceptance does not mean passivity. You still act, you still strive. But you drop the futile demand that reality obey your desires. And in that surrender, you find unshakable calm. These 7 daily practices form the backbone of a Stoic life. Morning reflection arms you against the day. Voluntary discomfort builds resilience. Control of judgments shields your mind. Evening review sharpens your growth. Memento Mori fuels urgency and focus. Service connects you to humanity. And aligning with nature grants peace with what you cannot control. These are not abstract theories. They are actions, choices, rituals. They are the architecture of the inner citadel, the fortress of the mind that nothing can break. Imagine living this way every day. Imagine starting the morning ready for whatever comes, moving through life unshaken by insults or losses, finding joy not in excess, but in resilience. contributing to the lives around you, and ending the day wiser than you began it. This is not fantasy. It is the daily practice of Stoicism, and it is within your reach. The only question is whether you will practice it. Because philosophy only matters when it is lived. So as you finish this video, take one of these 7 practices and start today. Tonight, review your day. Tomorrow morning, prepare for difficulties. Try voluntary discomfort this week. Whisper to yourself, I could leave life right now. And let that sharpen your choices. Step by step, practice by practice, you will build the inner citadel. And in a world full of chaos, you will carry inside you a fortress of calm, strength, and clarity. Fortify your mind. Subscribe to the inner citadel